Hey everybody, Raven here, and I'm really excited to share with you today. We have 273 Morgan silver dollars in this bag. And we're going to do a little bit of search to see if there's any really cool errors, date over dates, VAMs, or whatnot in here. These are pretty much, they're non-coal, they're extra fine to find and whatnot. There's some that are a little better than others. There might even be a couple uncirculated ones in here. But we have this giant pile of silver dollars to look through. And like I said, hopefully we find something that somebody missed at the shop. You just never know. What I'm going to do is come back with some piles of these so we can get them organized. And then we'll take a look under the scope. Raven Hot Coins, stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got them into their piles, and of course there should be 13 rolls and an extra $13, and there is. We're going to look under these under the scope and see if we can find some really good stuff. I got my little helper here, and right now we got an 1881. Now what we're looking for is die cracks and anomalies that are in the coin, seeing if there's anything that sticks out and lets us know that we can later look those up and see what they are. This is a New Orleans minted one. Pretty decent condition. And I don't see anything special in there. We'll kind of run through these a little bit quicker than what we would normally do on a sale or something like that. You know, you show a lot more time on the coin. And this one, actually, the reverse has a nice frosty look to it. Interesting one, just an 1880 Philly. And like I said, I hope we find something that somebody missed. Here we have an 1883. Like I said, we're looking to see if there's die cracks. This one looks like it's been cleaned at some point in its lifetime. And it's a Philly. Not too shabby of a coin still, no matter what. You know, these coins right here are going to average about $50, $40 to $50, depending on the date and the mint mark. This is just an 1878 Philly. And like I said, we're trying to see if we can find any that have varieties or have, you know, what they call a VAM. And we'd look those up at a later date. But, you know, it's still pretty neat to be able to get my hands on over 270, there's 273 to be exact, Morgan silver dollars, and take a look and hope that somebody missed something while they put these aside. Because most of these, here we go. This is an 1886, and it's a San Francisco. That date just looks like wear and tear. Somebody put some slices in the eagle wings. But, you know, it's interesting to think the history that's behind these coins. Who could have held them? You know, presidents and people like, you know, famous people, Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp, or, you know, Jesse James and his gang. You just never really know. Or Billy the Kid even. Or some of the presidents, you know, throughout time, like Lincoln and different ones. Now this one looks like it has a little piece of a delamination here, so that's interesting. That's actually something that I'd like to pull apart. It might be environmental damage, but I need to look at it a little bit closer. But that really more looks like a lamination issue because of the way it's coming off, and you see that extra little flaking right there. So that's kind of neat. We'll put that aside. But you know, the history of these. I mean, just imagine what was bought and sold back then for $1 would be just absolutely mind-blowing compared to what you get today. You know, the dollar today is not as strong as it once was. Matter of fact, I remember growing up reading, oh, here we go. We got some nice die cracks on this one right here. You can see it down through the 85 and across into the stars and everything. So that's pretty neat. We'd have to double check that later to see if there's anything that's recognized for this date. And, you know, I was saying, I had read the little series of Little House on the Prairie as a book. And the little girl had 1 cent when she went to the store, and she was able to buy a bunch of stuff and still had half a penny left over. So then we have an S mint mark, and again, wear and tear has just made it flat, so it's not anything like a mint over mint mark. Literally right now, we just have the one coin that we set aside. Actually, we should have had two. Yeah, that 85 needs to go aside because they had the die cracks. The power of buying stuff, to give you an idea, in the late 1800s, you could actually have a entire house delivered to your home, to your land, in a box, in crates, everything you needed to build an entire house for about $400. Now you look at today, to build that same house, you're looking at, easily hundreds of thousands of dollars to build the same home. You know, it's just amazing. I mean, even into the 1980s and stuff, the buying power of your dollar. You could buy a brand new Trans Am off the lot for about $6,000 loaded in the 80s. And I found that out. I was talking to my dad the other day, and he told me that that's how much cars used to sell for when that was one of his jobs when I was growing up, is he was a car salesman. And you know it's amazing how that's now changed. And if you could get, let's say, a brand new, what the equivalent of would be a brand new Camaro or Firebird or Trans Am, they're 40 grand or so. So it's interesting how time value of money works and how things change. And heck, I remember being a little kid, you could get a candy bar for super cheap. And now, I think they were like 35 cents or something like that, or 40 cents. And nowadays, you're looking at $1.45, $1.50. And back then, when I was a kid, you could get a king size bar for like, a 85 cents to $1 on average. And nowadays, a king size bar, those are 250, I think, the last time I saw them at the store. So it's a 1900 kind of a common date. It's got a bit of wear and tear, but so far we got two coins that we pulled aside. And like I said, I'm not expecting to hit the Holy Grail or anything in here. You just never know what might have been overlooked, but it is very, very cool to see these coins. And literally, like I said, think about the history that has gone into all of this, all of these coins, different lives and whatnot that it touched or affected, or who could have carried these in their pocket. It's just really, really interesting to me. That's one of the things I've always loved about history and coin collecting, is that they're tied in together. And only if these coins could talk. Some of these might tell you, well, they've been in a bag for 50 years and never got to experience much. And then others would be like, well, I went from George Washington to Abe Lincoln to. It's just kind of crazy to think where coins would have been. Now, George Washington was way before the mintage of these, but I'm just using, names in history as kind of examples of what different coins could experience. For George Washington and Jefferson and them, you would have had more colonial year coins in the 1700s and whatnot. But, I think that it's pretty neat. These are pretty, this one is an 1879S. And the wear and tear on that, the only reason I know it's an S is because the way it is on the back. But this thing is pretty beat up. And some of these, like I said, the better dates are going to be a little bit more worn. The easier dates to get are going to look a little bit nicer. This one right here looks like it's got road rash. And I love coins in general. It's a really good hobby, something to do fun with the family and whatnot. So what I'm going to do, versus going through every single last coin in here, I'm going to go through here and cut to the next time we find something really, really cool. We were lucky enough to find two potential finds in the beginning here. One with the die cracks, and the other one that looks like it's having a delamination issue. I'm going to go through these last couple ones here, and then we will cut to when I can find something else, so this doesn't end up being like a 3-hour video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ravenhawk Coins, stay tuned. All right, everybody. So we found an interesting one here. We have an 1897S. Or, no, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said 1897. 1900S. And these are actually a little bit more of a key date-ish kind of year. If it was in better condition, it'd be worth quite a bit more. But I was surprised to see it in this lot because there's only about 3 million of those ever minted. And so that's kind of cool to come across. I've literally gone through this entire, check this out, this giant pile over here. And of course, now you can't see it. Let me move it over here. Kept everything in nice, neat little piles. I've gone through all this silver. And so far, the only ones that we had were the first initial two, which I think I just buried. I'll find them, though. It won't be hard to get them. But the two finds that we had, here they are. These two here, I believe. You know, the one with the D-Lam issue, and I know this one here. Let's double check here. 1897, is this the one that had it? Nope. Oh, it looks like I misplaced one of the coins I had. I had two set aside. This one has the die crack, so it's in this pile. I'll find it again before the end of the video. But I've gone through a lot of these, and literally they're just run-of-the-mill coins. Nothing super special. You know, here you have an 1878S that's really close to being a cull. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more rolls to go through. I'm hoping I find something else cool. Now, this one's in pretty nice condition. You can see how frosty the back is, and the front is pretty nice as well. So that's a higher grade 1880, kind of a common date. And I can't believe I managed to lose one of the cool finds. I mean, I know I'll find it, but, you know, what do you do? That's me. That's Raven. I sometimes make a mistake here and there, and hey, I'm only human. All right, so we got an 1890. I like the darker patina on coins. Some people do, some people don't, but what it lets me know is that nobody's, you know, messed with this coin in a long time as far as dipping it or doing anything. And that has an S mint mark. You know, these coins, though, I mean, honestly, I know I said it a little while ago, but the history that they've lived through is just unbelievable, and they're gorgeous. You know, the Morgan silver dollar is one of my favorite minted coins out there. Did I see something up by the wing? Nope. Wishful thinking. I'm hoping to find something good here while we're going through them live like we did when we got lucky at the beginning of the video. This one here has a little hole under the R right there, which could be another D-Lam issue because of the way it looks, where that R is. Matter of fact, I got my loop here. Let me take a look at this one a little bit closer, and we can see what is going on here. Was it on the reverse? Yeah, it was, I'm sure. Yeah, that just looks like, really like environmental damage. I was been hoping to find a lot of cool stuff in this search. Down the road, we're going to have an even bigger search of ones that there's quite possibly going to be Carson Cities and different things in them. Once that bag is brought from my friend's home. He has it at home, and he said he has literally everything in that bag, from good dates to interesting varieties and whatnot. And this bag here that he let me borrow, you know, it was one of those, well, you know, it's been looked at, but you might find something that we missed. And I figured this was a cool thing just to be able to show such a variety of Morgan dollars in one lot. So a big shout out and thank you to my brother for letting me borrow these, because I don't have 270 plus Morgans in my stack. let alone a bag of 500, a half bag of 500. A full bag of Morgans would be $1,000 of face value. So, it is a fun hobby. You're hoping to find cool stuff, and sometimes even a trained eye misses stuff and you find it at a later date. So who knows? Got the fingers crossed. There's still a chance. We got quite a few rolls to go. So I'm going to keep searching and hopefully I'll find something. If I don't find anything, we'll come back and do a wrap up and show the highlights of what we still found, the couple, and go from there. Raven Hot Coins. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, so I'm back, and this is probably my favorite one that we found so far from 1890. It has some beautiful, beautiful toning going on, and just a great coin. Matter of fact, let me show you it under the ZV1. That is a pretty cool coin, dark rainbow toning going on. Now, cameras don't always do it justice, but you can see some of the reds and whatnot going on in there, and the reverse is really cool. That's a pretty cool one. So I wanted to share that with you. I'll be back if we find something else. Raven Hot Coins, stay tuned. All right, everybody, found another nicely toned one. This is 1879, and it's a San Francisco. I really like the toning and the dark patina that it has. Very cool coin. So we've got, a couple more finds on the search. It's just... I wish we had been able to find a lot more. I'm kind of greedy that way. I like to find cool stuff. But it's still a really fun video to do and gives me a chance to show you guys that, when you find varieties and errors in coins, they should be more far and few between. Because if there's too much of a population of a certain error coin over time, that will lose its overall value because you have so many of them that it becomes from a rarity to a common item, So it is one of those things that's kind of cool that maybe that we didn't find a lot more than what I found so far. And goes to show you that, again, those varieties and the different errors that you look for are hard to get. That's one of the reasons why they command such a premium to them. I'm going to get through the rest of these and see if we find anything else. If we don't, we'll come back with a wrap-up. Raven Hot Coins, stay tuned. All right, everybody, so we got through them all. We have a couple of the cool ones we're going to show again. The cool toned one here, 1879S. The really nicely toned one here, the 1890 San Francisco as well. That one's pretty neat. We have the possible, and I found it, the one that has the lamination issue going on right there under the P of E pluribus unum. And then we have the one with the die cracks. So, like I said, I wish we'd have found a little bit more, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy that it is what it is, because you can't always find and hit home runs, but you can try your best. You want to correspond, it's ravenhotcoins@gmail.com. Our P.O. Box is 721-296, Norman, Oklahoma, 73070. Like always, please take care of one another, and we'll see you real soon. Raven Hot Coins, have a great day.